Right, hi guys, Luetin here, and today I have brought together finally something that you guys have been requesting for a long time, my Skylines Essentials mod list. Now, I probably should have done this ages ago, but I didn't. And what this is it's a basic collection. So if you're just beginning with the game, this is a collection for you, things that are going to help improve your game and just generally stuff which is kind of necessary to get the most out of City Skylines. Now, things that I have not included are stuff like the more challenging mods, like the realistic population mod, because the realistic population mod, for example, it basically makes a lot of people come into your city, and if you are just starting out, I sometimes speak to people and I forget just that it takes a while for people to get their head around some of the stuff in the game, and if you're having to deal with that as well as everything else, it's going to be quite a challenge for you. So I haven't included things like that. I haven't included things like just kind of visual assets, so stuff like residential buildings, vehicles, any of those kind of things that are just, they're kind of cool to add, but they don't really bring any kind of change to the game mechanics, right? Because they're not really necessary. You can add those at your will, you can browse the workshop, you can subscribe to them, you can add them. It's not really going to make any difference to your gameplay, right? There are some things in here which bring kind of basically changes to the actual mechanics of the game, like for example the traffic manager mod, and I'll have some tutorials about that as well so that people can actually understand what it is. But so there's going to be things like that, and then the other stuff is just kind of like assets for services like medical, health, and fire, stuff like this. Those things do actually help, and they're quite a good change to sort of bring those things in there. So I'm just going to go through briefly and describe what each of these mods does in a simple way. So the Traffic Manager Improved AI mod, what this is, it's a combination of things which basically enables the AI to work a little bit better in terms of how they move around your city. They don't have so much congestion issues and so on and so on. They're basically about changing lanes, and this also brings in some other assets in terms of you being able to actually change lanes yourself. It's not really illustrated here particularly well, but again, I'll try and do another video on this. But it basically enables you to sort of edit roundabouts and tell the routes that traffic's going to take. It enables you to tell them whether they can sort of have, just straight on follow through lanes, or whether they have turn right, turn left lanes, etc. Enables you to change all of those kind of things. Automatic emptying, it doesn't initially appear like this is an issue for you when you start playing the game, but it quickly becomes incredibly frustrating. Basically, if you have a cemetery or you have like a garbage center, what happens is over time it gets full up and then you have to go manually empty it. And the fact that you have to kind of manually empty it and then you have to reactivate it once it's been emptied, that's quite time consuming, and it can cause problems if you're not aware of it. And as I say, when you're dealing with like a small community to start with, that's not a problem. But when you have like a big city and there's these things all over the place, then it becomes a big problem. Now, rush hour, I've put rush hour in here. Again, you can choose to sort of enable it or not enable it. What it does is it improves a lot of different elements in the game, but mainly what it does is things like this. So emptying schools at night, so you can see here nighttime, morning, midday, it's full up. Okay, nighttime, not much traffic, daytime, a lot of traffic. So it's a good way of kind of just adding a little bit of challenge for yourself. But again, you can edit that whether or not you want to really have that on. You don't have to have it enabled. You can turn it off still in the mod menu if you don't want to have it. These things are pretty self-explanatory. So a medium-sized health clinic, it's just a different look and feel, but it's a good sort of thing to have these different size things. A local fire station, that's basically a small fire station. So less cost. If you're having like a small outside community or a starting community, it saves you some money. Normal police station, different look and feel. A rural police station, again, smaller one. Now I've put this in here, Cliquey, it's the Wronga Elementary School. It's basically an elementary school which is easy to fit in, it's a bit smaller, and again some different, slight stat variations, just a good one to have in there. Pharmacy, again, this is another health thing, it's another good little thing that you can just throw down there. Network Extensions Project. Now this is a really good one. The Network Extension Project basically gives in a lot of different roads. So these things here like lanes, you have some of these 6-lane variations, one-way, 6-lane. You get the really key ones are the sort of the standard roads, and then you get like the smaller standard roads which are like 3-lane, 4-lane. They're really, really good, and there's some illustrations. So you have like promenades, zonable pedestrian roads, 8-lane roads. You can have road zone modifiers, these basic roads with a turning lane, highway bridge tunnels, 4-lane highway, 2-lane highway, and so on and so on and so on. There's loads of really good content in this one, so that's a really excellent mod, very important. The ambient sounds tuner, this one is incredibly vital as well. Some of the sounds can be a little disproportionate. Some of the things like cows, seagulls, they can be a bit loud. And this enables you to just go in and adjust the volume for specific elements in the game. Anything that's particularly annoying you, you can turn it down or whatever. So again, that's quite a vital one to just improve your enjoyment of the game. This little power relay, this is really, really important. Power relays basically enable you to jump power across areas without having to put big power lines all over the place, because power lines, they take up a lot of space, they're quite ugly, and having a little power relay is more kind of realistic in terms of placing it on the ground, imagining that you're running cables across the ground, and that's like a really cool thing. It costs barely no money to use, so it's a really vital thing for spreading power around your areas. But again, it creates quite a lot of noise, these things, so you don't want to be just putting them everywhere to sort of spread power. You need to kind of use them where you can. You still need to be sensible about how you kind of grow your city so that the electricity kind of goes along with that. Then we've got some of these things. This is all water treatment stuff. So large clarifier, water treatment plants, small clarifier. It's all kind of water treatment stuff. It's all very useful and good for your city in terms of sewage and so on. Different prices, different sizes. A couple of metro stations. So we've got the small entrance, a more modern subway entrance, and then I've got a couple of others further down here near the bottom. Here we are, inner city metro, small inner city metro. Again, all metro stations. They're just very good, look cool. A bigger fire station. This one is actually Stansted Fire Station, so it's kind of like an airport fire station, but it's basically just a big fire station, and it's very useful when you have like a larger area and you just want to have a big fire station capable of dealing with all those things. The Cleakerson's Healthcare 2x1 mini hospital. This thing is really, really good. It's great for small communities. It's good for when you just want to add a little bit extra healthcare in one area. It only takes up a 2x1 square, so you can fit it in a lot of places. It's super important. Really good one. Another clarifier there. Some water pumping stations. Again, they do what they say on the tin, just water pumping stations. This sort of thing, the Solar Civic Amenity site, recycling. Again, this is a really good kind of out of town. It provides some power from solar panels, and it's just a good place for people to kind of have recycling. Again, that brings in some noise, so it's often good to kind of have that out of town. Toggle traffic lights, really important. We have this a lot. Being able to turn on and off traffic lights is not in the game by default, but it's super critical. Sometimes it is good to have traffic lights. Don't just turn off all traffic lights by default, okay? Sometimes it is good to have traffic lights in certain sections, but this gives you the option to turn those on and off. And then the last one, all 25 areas purchasable. So again, if you want to kind of have the freedom to open up the whole map and try out different areas, you can have that as well. So there we go, guys. That's my essentials list. And again, you may agree, disagree, but this is the basic stuff that I use, and loads of people have been asking me for that. So that's all the stuff that's included. I'll do another list as well for the residential buildings and other stuff like this. I will throw that in there so people can check those things out if they want to. But for now, this is my list. I'd say I have some maybe tutorials about specific mods as I come along and do those. But yep, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy, and check out the list. The link for it, of course, is down below. So go and subscribe to all of these mods.